And hello and welcome to Broadbeach Bowls Club. My name is Barry Lester, your host today in the commentary box, bringing you all the action of day one of the Australian Championships. And we've got a great game for everyone viewing today. And that is the triples match, round two, between Queensland and ACT. We're just coming to the end of N1. And some great quality players out there on the green in beautiful conditions. 26 degrees. Spectacular day here at Broadbeach Bowls Club. Already some decent crowds around here to enjoy some of Australia's best players. They've had to do it the hard way, winning all the way through to their state. And then now trying to walk away with a national title. And something that they will remember forever. It's an absolute pleasure to be here and bring you this big match and today's lineups for Queensland. Brenda Balchin is leading. Brenda Thompson playing two. Noelene Dutton, the super skip from Queensland. And from ACT, Sandra, Warren, Penny Auld and Mandy Stitt. And we're really looking forward to today's match. I'm joined by Aidan Davis, General Manager of Partnerships. And because he's such a nice man and a great man to deal with, I've put him down as Partnerships and Friendships. And welcome to you, Aidan.
Thanks, Barry. Great to be here. Thank you very much for dedicating your time to bring us this coverage here today. Into the thick of things with round two from the women's triples. Day one, Australian Championships, as you say.
Yeah, two bowl triples. 18 ends will be played over 2.5 hour time limit. And dead ends will be replayed. So make sure you're tuning in today on the YouTube and grab the link, send it on to your friends, your networks, your groups, your contacts, and keep sharing these great games. Plenty of bowls on TV these days. So wherever you are around Australia and overseas, we're in for a great match here for the next 2.5 hours on Green 4 at Broadbeach Bowling Club, the home of the Australian Open Finals, where all the big games are played in that over those last couple of days of the Australian Open. We've seen some huge matches, haven't we, Aidan, over the last few years when it comes to this green?
Absolutely. The host green for the Australian Open Finals for probably 5 or 6 years now. The Australian Open, of course, been up here on the magnificent Gold Coast since 2015. So coming up on its 10th anniversary next year, obviously with COVID impacting one of those years in 2020. So not far away from where we are sitting right now is where all of the action happens on the last 2 days of the Australian Open. Probably on rink 25, I'd say, is about the finals rink.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, there's been some huge games, none bigger than a few months ago. Aaron Sheriff down game, drew the match winner. That went viral, that shot. That game did. But today we're bringing you the women's triples, ACT versus Queensland. Even though various conditions do alter around Australia, some states choose to collaborate from club to club to create a team to hopefully go away and win a state title. A lot of players and bowlers out there choose to just play with their club teammates, and but it's one part of the game I do really like, Aidan, where clubs can come together, members from different clubs form a team and try and walk away with a state title.
Yeah, absolutely. It is slightly different in different places, as you say. Queensland, obviously, with a composite team from a few different clubs, skipped by Noelene Dutton from Club Kawana. But most state and territories have a one club policy. You'll see most of the teams out there and across the rest of this week here at Broadbeach Bowls Club representing their club and their state, vying for national honours.
As we mentioned off the top, 16.5 seconds as we see Brenda Thompson, very experienced campaigner. Brenda Thompson wearing the Helensvale gear. Nice delivery. This length here is around about the 27 metre mark, so fairly lengthy, but it's a kind length also. Brenda needs to just finish off here. She's played it well. That's a great shot. As you can see, that really strong draw there towards the end. That's the angles the bowls are coming in. And you see the bowl, the blue bowl just below the jack and the bowl over at 3 o'clock. You can see the angles those bowls have finished on. Tells you there's a lot of strong bias out there, a lot of strong turn. And you want to really get on top of that early, really pick your line and then feel your weight. And Brenda Thompson, well, she's got a bit of both there, drawing the shot. ACT after one end, lead 2-0. And Aidan, mate, you've been working with Bowls Australia for quite a while now in a few different roles, but tell us a bit about the size of the team, not only here but behind the scenes, that contribute to getting something like this off the ground.
Yeah, coming up on 14 years involved at Bowls Australia, but as you say, an enormous amount of work behind the scenes from a number of people, led admirably by events and competition manager Andrew Howie and events and competitions coordinator Paul Holsky will be coming into the commentary box soon enough this afternoon to provide some expert comments alongside you, Baz, in terms of bringing the coverage across the digital platforms, YouTube particularly, to Australia, assisted by the expert live streamers in Gold Coast Tweed District Bowls Association, bringing us fantastic pictures, graphics, packages, all the action through across the Nationals. So fantastic to have them on board and providing this great experience. Yeah,
well said. I echo those sentiments for sure. It's amazing now to think that we've got so much bowls on TV, on various platforms, YouTube, social media. We've got podcasts, you name it, and it's just great to see bowls getting out there in all those forms. As we see, though, Mandy Stitt on the mat, looking to sit that shot bowl of Brenda Thompson's, but the weight was quite good, just missing high, just with that little bit of breeze around. And traditionally, I've always said here at Broadbeach, pretty much any sort of coastal bowling club, the ocean side generally is the wider side. So as we're looking at the screen here, the left of the screen is the ocean side. And you'll see this big strong turn now. Noelene Dutton coming in nicely. What a correction here. Needs to pull up a touch. And you can see that crossing the head. That should be enough. You see Brenda Thompson having a look here. Well, they're pointing. Get a bit more of an indication for our viewers. So they've taken one out. Well, no, they've taken the 3. Yep. Will we see the 4th up the front count or not? They're having a look at it again. Yes, it is. So it's 4 shots to Queensland.
It's a strong response. They had a great first up victory this morning, beating none other than Rebecca Van Ash's Tasmanian contingent. That's a huge scalp. 24-9 to start their campaign here in the Women's Triples Australian Championships title.
Yeah, that's a huge confidence booster. You start the day with a big win. And one thing to do with that too, there's nothing better when you do start the day really well in terms of your own performance and a team performance, but you've got to grab those positives and keep them in the forefront of your mind. What lengths worked, what hands worked, all that kind of stuff. Grab all the positives, keep them in the forefront, and then run with them. And as they say, Aidan, winning form is the best form.
Yeah, 3 rounds here, split across 2 sections, so you can ill afford to drop a rubber, leading into gold medal playoffs and bronze medal playoffs this evening, here about 6:15 local time, Broadbeach Bowls Club, AEST Queensland time.
Jack length here, 25 metres. Very strategic straight away. Noelene Dutton standing there asking her lead of Brenda Balchin to roll the jack to that length. So that's definitely a theory early days. Maybe something that worked early on. So the shorter length. And Brenda, well, she just nailed it on her backhand. You can see the chalk lathered all over that bowl of hers. Just going to pull up here. A lovely weight from Sandra Warren, though, with her first bowl. Only finishing a foot through. Just needs to find a bit more. Well, you can say grass. We are on the grass. Sometimes you've got to be careful these days, Aidan. We're not always on the grass.
Very true. A lot of synthetic turf action from Bowls Australia's national calendar of events.
Yeah, Aaron Sheriff out here this morning, 5 o'clock, playing for Queensland yesterday, and then out with the turf management team at Broadbeach Bowls Club this morning, up with the Sparrows, getting it done, getting the greens pristine for all the competitors, and it is a national title. And we, when I say we, being an employee of Broadbeach Bowls Club, you're super keen to showcase the club, the facilities, obviously the greens, and make the experience as enjoyable as possible as you can for all the visitors, so they can go back to their clubs and talk highly of Broadbeach Bowls Club. I know the weather's always, well, it's all usually always nice. A few dark days last week and a bit of rain, but no faulting it today at all. 26 degrees and big shot required here from Penny Auld on the backhand. Any jack movements in her favour. Missing high. Well, that will come in handy if Mandy Stitt needs to get a little bit aggressive. It's always good to have that back bowl there. Lots of good games going on, not only on this green but also on green 2. So 2 greens in action here at Broadbeach Bowls Club, with green 3 being currently under renovation. All greens will be renovated over the coming months to prepare for a hot summer. Expecting somewhere around about 5 to 10,000 barefooters over the next 2 to 3 months, as well as the big major comps. Pan Packs coming up as well, Aidan.
World-class facilities here at Broadbeach. Absolutely spoiled for choice. Do a magnificent job every occasion that we come here.
Yeah, home of the Bulls. And ACT this morning just went down to Northern Territory by 4 shots. Sorry, 5 shots. And not much in it really when you're looking at national titles. That's only really an end of bowls. You go back through your card, go through back your stats. Usually it's probably a couple of loose ends here or there. There's not much in it at this level. But as you mentioned, Aidan, that's a pretty convincing win there. Queensland 24-9 over Tasmania. Yeah, they played in the different direction, east-west this morning.
Big job ahead of them now, but puts them well and truly in the box seat for a gold-silver playoff after 3 rounds. Northern Territory, the other undefeated team in their section, with a good first-up win this morning as well.
Well, Noelene Dutton, wow, there you go. Out on a high line. I think she was just looking to cover the back. Slid off that front bowl of Sandra Warren's. Brenda Balchin's, and nearly picked up the jack. Big laugh and I think a bit of a nervous smile there from her teammates of Noelene Dutton, but here we go. Definitely some form of weight here required from Mandy Stitt, looking to sit the bowl for 2 or 3 or trail the jack around the corner. That weight is superb. Just missing under, but finished in a good home. Good signs early. Pretty decent head of bowls here. But once again, like we saw last end, you see the strong angle of the bowls and a lot of bowls gravitating to that side of the screen due to that high drawing side, that ocean side. You see that heading out right out to the boundary peg there, and then coming back nicely. About 8 feet of turn there. As we see, look at this, straight back to the middle. Always feels good to put numbers on things. Once the jack goes down, put a number on it. Tell yourself it's 25, 26, 27 yards, and then tell yourself how many feet do you need to send it out to find the line. Keep that in your mind. Helps just confirm things. Mandy Stitt looking very good. Needs the bowl clean. No jack. Well, she's got the jack as well. Well, that's a brilliant shot.
Well played.
Big conversion. They've taken 3 out. See a measure here. Brenda Thompson. So holding 3 currently. Measure being about a yard from the jack. So they'll go to the back one now. Oh, that's well and truly in. My goodness. It's a big count here. 5 shots.
Big turning point in this match.
That was a huge conversion. That bowl was sitting up nicely. Couldn't afford to play too quick and kick the jack right out. But Mandy Stitt, backhand, 6 feet away, sat the bowl clean, edged the jack on the exit, and hung around for 5. So it's a game of multiples so far. 2-4-5. And they now lead 7-4 after 3 ends of this 18-end match. With it being sectional play, all ends will be completed. Every shot counts. As we see there, 2 hours, 7 minutes remaining on this match, 3 ends in. So sort of around that, probably around about that 20-minute marker for 3 ends. But once players get their groove on, feel that they'll make up a little bit of time. Most players early days in a game of bowls take a little bit extra time, probably move about a little bit slower, but once they get their groove on, and this length here, 32 metres, quite a long one. Nice starter there from Sandra Warren. Both leads inside a yard here. Sandra Warren on the backhand again. Just going to miss heavy here. As we can see, the angle of that bowl coming in, not as sharp as the forehand side. That can just play havoc with your weight control a little bit. Obviously sending the bowl out on a high line will change the weight control. And can Brenda Balchin beat her last bowl? She sure can. That'll be enough, as it sort of wants to fall. Didn't know which way it wanted to fall there. Big program, big couple of weeks of bowls, big viewership, lots of people tuning in all around the world. Helps the game grow. The more people watching the sport and events like this, the better. Brenda Thompson, one of the most loveliest ladies you'll ever meet in bowls. Helensvale kit on, matching shoes, yellow and green, or yellow and gold, green and gold. And Club Helensvale just completed another roof. Hayden, Max, proud partner of Bowls Australia, just put another roof in at Club Helensvale.
Absolutely. Looks magnificent from all reports. Great job with Bioscapes providing the synthetic turf and Max the roof structure to those. So looking forward to utilising both synthetic covered greens for next year's Australian Open. Brings another green into action for an already sell-out Australian Open. That'll come in handy for Andrew Howie.
We're almost getting to the case we nearly have to build some more bowls clubs, Aiden, with the Australian Open, mate.
Very good point. At capacity, and have been for a few years. So when those entries are launched in December, I'd encourage everyone to get them in thick and fast. Don't rest on your laurels and wait for those, because it will fill out.
There you go. You've heard it directly from the man, Aidan Davis, joining us from Bowls Australia. And it's great to hear that numbers are at capacity last year, and hopefully again, like you say, next year. But December, the Australian Open for 2025 will open, celebrating 10 years on the Gold Coast. and celebrating 20 years since its inception back at Yarraville Footscray Bowling Club in 2005.
Yeah, correct. Yep, absolutely spot on. Before it made the move to Darebin International Sports Centre, out to Shepparton, back to Darebin, then up here to the magnificent Gold Coast. And right here it will be the finals action once again come June next year.
Yeah, we've been spoiled the last few years with the weather, Aiden. And I know we're always trying our best and crossing our fingers for the good weather, but ideally it's usually pretty good, and the greens, well, say no more. Pristine condition throughout the winter. As we see Mandy Stitt just going under there. Watch the harshness here, how that bowl really falls away. If you just miss your line, you can't cheat it. Got to really trust it out there. Noelene Dutton, very experienced player also. Won many big titles, played high representative bowls. Forehand with weight here. Looking for the shot bowl, missing high, well, almost getting jacked, but that opens that hand back up for our next delivery. No, Mandy Stitt needs to get another one in here. Touch that jack. She can make a number. Or sit that lead bowl of Brenda Balchin's. Well, the bowl's on its way. As we see there, bowl running on beautifully. Will it make it? Oh, of course it will. This is good bowling here from the ACT team. Currently leading 7-4. Look to be holding at least 2 on the head here. And you can see Noelene Dutton. I think once you get that far, you got to keep going. Go down, have a look. Right, so just draw is the call here from Noelene Dutton.
Good, clear instructions. And
what's next, Aiden? After this, mate, there's a Bowls Premier League not far away.
That's right. All eyes turn to Club Pine Rivers for BPL number 20. Talking about milestones. 20th edition of the Bowls Premier League. Started in 2013. Look at this.
Well, it needs to go with it.
Does it?
Cut 2 out. I felt it might have been 3. So 1 shot to ACT. Now leading 8-4 after 4 ends.
Bowls Premier League welcomes 2 new teams to the competition this time round. And the Geelong Jets from Ocean Grove. The Sydney Saints from St John's Park Bowling Club Group. Some more internationals amongst the mix.
Yeah, some fresh faces.
You'll be eager to set the scene early for the Melbourne Pulse, Baz.
Absolutely. Club Pine Rivers, talking about facilities, don't get any better than that. The staff, the management and the facilities, they treat you like gold dust up there. Looking forward to that. Already started to look at my training program the next few weeks for that. Try and get a bit of time on carpet. Got the new bowls. Got the new bowls out. Should look good on TV. The new swirls.
Yeah, excellent. Great.
So looking forward to that. But having a run with Sammy Atkinson. Her first BPL. Because our little friend Alan Fife just became a mum.
Has another little friend.
Yes. Well, we actually won the last BPL with Alan having some company on board. So
yeah,
lucky no one looked in the terms and conditions there. Got away with that one. Just missing under there from Sandra Warren. Decent speed. Don't mind that from a starter there for Brenda Balchin. It's a nice line. Send it out to that peg area there, out to the paint. Just try and correct the weight. She's done pretty well. Yeah, good shot. Just down.
You'd have fond memories of Queanbeyan, Barry, 2016 Australian Sides Championships.
Sure do, yeah. My first ever Alley Shield win with Victoria. Yeah, ACT in general, all around those parts. I remember Queanbeyan RSL's greens, or particularly one of them, was just faultless. So, yeah, good memories there.
Good club.
Very lucky, really, when you think about it. When you see all the people here this week and the last few weeks travelling from all around Australia, some of their clubs, and what we've noticed, especially what we've had to do here the last few weeks in Tweedheads, volunteers. A lot of great clubs with brilliant volunteers putting in so many hours.
Yeah, the heart and soul of the sport and the lifeblood. Couldn't do it without them. Events like the Nationals and the Australian Open simply wouldn't be able to be run without fantastic support from local bowls club volunteers. Broadbeach and Club Tweed this week, faultless.
So 1 in, 1 out there from Brenda Thompson. Not many bowls being played on this west side of the rink. Forehand side for the right-hander. It's lovely weight there from Penny Auld. Just missing her line. So Brenda Thompson, 1 down. Forehand it is. Looking for some connection on the shot bowl. Doesn't want to get her own bowl out the back. Just sliding past. So the words I think of in these kind of conditions, Aidan, is room for error. There really isn't much. If you go to give it a little bit of weight, it's easy to be too heavy, or if you try and critique it too much, you can play under, but there's really not much room for error in these sort of conditions. 16.5 seconds, firm green and a little bit of a swirling wind.
Great insight, Baz.
Yeah, a few extra seconds on the mat, I've always said, in trying conditions. As you can see there, decent head of bowls, but still a few loose ones early days. Okay, Mandy Stitt on the backhand. She's a chance here, just needs to turn in. Played it very well. That should be enough. Yeah, it is. She has framed the head though. Boxed it up nicely. Noelene Dutton, as we saw on the previous end, she's definitely got the firepower. She won't be afraid to use it here. It's just a matter of which hand. It looks to be forehand the way she's squaring up to this. Yeah, it's forehand, but it's missing under. So it's already a 2.5 bowl target. Can Mandy Stitt make it 3, but not make it any wider? One of the toughest shots in the book when drawing a shot, not making it easier for your opposition. What can she do? If she slides around the back, that would be perfect. She's going to pull up short. Has she got in the way? Well, that's the next best. And it counts. So that's 3 shots. You couldn't have walked down and placed that any better, Aidan. Right in the way.
Well, Noelene coming to assess the situation with Brenda. I think that certainly changes her approach.
Yeah, I like this from Noelene and Brenda. Just to have a little bit of a cooling off period here. Just have a bit of a friendly chat. I think it's got to be backhand. Getting down to that split. Or if Nolene's super confident with her runner, you just go quick at that last bowl of Mandy Stitt's. Kicking that through the jack. And the beauty of backhand here is if She is half a bowl high. She can clean a couple out, whereas forehand, there's really only one option. And that's that front bowl of Mandy Stitt. So I feel it would be backhand swing here. But it all comes down to what you're confident with. She has played one on her forehand, Noelene Dutton. Does she stick at it and add a bit more line? About to find out. Yeah, much better line. Just pushed it slightly high. That's great front end pressure from the ACT team. It's the 3 shots every end so far. Multiples. This is a big response from them, Aiden, considering they lost this morning to NT 13-19.
Yeah, that would create a logjam in this women's triples section 1. Makes the third round of action very interesting. We'll of course be bringing you coverage from that third round and the gold-silver medal decider this evening. Thanks to Gold Coast Tweed District Bowls Association for the wonderful pictures that you're watching. And Barry Lester for the expert commentary.
Absolute pleasure, mate. Thanks for the opportunity. Great to talk about the game of bowls, what's happening in the sport, promote it any way we can. And thank you, technology. We've gone on leaps and bounds the last few years, especially during and post-COVID. To be able to have something for people at home to sit around and watch. And you look at technology now with smart TVs and that, you sit at home and put the bowls on your YouTube channel, put the surround sound on, grab some nibblies.
Treat yourself.
That's it. Why not?
Fantastic innovation. Goes a long way to showing you matches that would otherwise go unseen, and preliminary and early rounds to complement broadcast matches that you can witness on television. Really complements each other, and we'll see that in the mix at BPL 20 next month at Club Pine Rivers, where you'll be able to witness 22 rounds of live streaming across the 5 days, Monday through to Friday, and then of course 3 rounds of action split up across the 6 hours, Tuesday through to Thursday, and the finals on Friday night.
Yeah, I'm going to have to work on the cardio between now and then, Aiden.
Yeah, it's grown legs at BPL, 2 new teams, and we've got a 22 round competition.
I'd love to put that into steps. For those that wear the smart watches and stuff, it'd be interesting to see if someone can do a nice little daily. We'll ask the players to give us a little feedback on their daily steps across the BPL. Who clocks up the most steps for the week? It's definitely going to be a long week, but when you're playing at that level, in that environment, there's really not enough games you can play, really. Looking forward to seeing some new fresh faces in the event. And not just their ability too, it's their character and personalities, what they can bring to the showpiece event.
Absolutely, that's what the BPL is all about. It's a spectacle and wants to promote the sport of bowls to the unconverted and really show off its best attributes. And there'll be an international flair and flavour to the competition this year, with a number of international exponents with their inaugural competition, their debut into the BPL. Looking forward to those.
This one just ducking away again. As you see there, if you miss your line, you are gone on that hand. And Aiden, it is each to your own the way you want to find your line. Having coached a lot of people over the years, I personally am a bank bowler, and I just feel sometimes you've got to really be owning that in your training and your prep, as we see here. Not easy to nail that line. Where are you getting your line? Own it. Because the slightest, as I said previously, a little bit of room for error and you're gone. It's hard to maintain that consistency. Brenda, Thompson, well, that's should be enough for a shot. Good shot there, nice little conversion. I get asked that a lot, where should you look? Green, bank. It really is up to yourself and what you're comfortable with. Looking at the bank, you will deliver the bowl as a peripheral movement. Not everyone's comfortable with that. Looking somewhere else at release, but I know a lot of players of the highest level do it. But by all means, work with your coach. Work with what really is comfortable for you, and then you've got to own it, put in the hours.
Really intriguing aspect of the sport from an outsider's perspective, asking the elite where they take their line from, and a lot of them aren't able to clearly articulate where it is. It's just ingrained. They actually don't really, until they analyse it, aren't actually aware where they're picking it up from. There's a lot of variance, as you say, as to the markings where they get the line. So just an interesting aspect of the sport, but I think, as you say, something to be very conscious of.
Yeah, and it's horses for courses. It's how you built. As I said, the peripheral movement or activity in itself is not for everyone. Some people look at the you throw a basketball, some people watch the basketball leave the hand, some people look at the basketball ring. When you kick a football, some people watch the ball onto their foot, some people look at the target they're kicking it at. So with bowls, very similar. If you're more comfortable staying a bit more close to home, in front of your feet or just in front of your body, and maybe lining that up with something on the bank, that's completely fine. But just maintain that you've got to be able to have that new method every time you're playing in various conditions. It has to change from quick to slow and narrow and wide drawing greens. So as we see there, well, it's just snuck under. Well, you know what? Mandy Stitt, well, I was going to say she's on fire, but she's just fallen out of shot there. But look at that weight control. She's playing very well. Here's Mandy. But I think that blue bowl of Brenda Balchin is still the shot. Noelene Dutton shaping up on the backhand here. So, yeah, just work with what works for you in terms of comfortability. But if you feel you're keen to try something new, I'd encourage looking at the bank, getting comfortable with something on the bank and using that as a reference. Noelene Dutton, not far from the jack here. If she gets it, she's got to get all of it. Doesn't want to flick it to the red bowl. Wow. Might be enough to count. They need a little multiple here, Aiden. They need to, I know it's early days, but just to stay in that sort of, in that framework of the game, because if they pick up another multiple here, ACT, the confidence just grows.
Yeah, absolutely. Need a little stabiliser here for Queensland. Keep them in the thick of things. Holding one, and we're not yet to see whether it is a couple. It's been a happy hunting ground, this green, for Noelene over the years. A couple of Australian Open Women's Pairs titles out here on broadcast.
Yeah, Emma, I'm just trying to think, who was that? Was it with Emma or not?
Yeah, it was.
It was, okay,
yep,
Emma. Yeah, so, no, like I mentioned off the top, Aiden, very consistent performer, and, yeah, got all the shots. I've already seen a bit of aggression early. Not quite on target, but she has that part of her game where if the ball needs to be ripped out, something trailed, you name it, she's got that shot there. So hence the reason why they're the Queensland champions. And even though in trouble, or a little bit of trouble this game so far, but as I said, big win this morning. So they got a few shots up their sleeve, but yeah. But getting back to Noelene and Emma Spicer, well, Emma's just come off winning the Marge Morris Trophy yesterday, and she also volunteers, does the BPL, great marker for the BPL, and
yeah, has done for a very long time, provided her services and expertise to the marking of the broadcast matches.
Commonwealth Games 2018.
Yes.
Emma was there.
At this very venue. Looked a little bit different back then.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. So Noelene Dutton, not quite sure if her last bowl is in the count here, but something similar. She can trail to her own bowl, can make 3. Just doesn't want any back cutting of the jack. It's on its way. It's going to miss under, but will it hang around? No. Bit of both required there. I think we'll find it's just the one, but they may measure it. Will we see our first single? And that breaks the run of 3 ends in a row by the ACT. Unless I've got ahead of myself here, because from where we're sitting, Aidan, I've got Queensland for 1. And it's maybe tighter than we think here. Yes, it is. So 1 to Queensland. Take them to 5. And ACT 11 after 6 ends. One-third of the way in here. 1 hour and 41 minutes left to go. Dead ends replayed. So the mat is down. It is on the tee, so it's right back. Not quite as short as we saw earlier. About 30 metres this one, so fairly lengthy end. Maybe this is a new theory for the Queenslanders. You see Brenda Balchin and Noelene Dutton both rocking the Kiwana Thunder shirts.
Powerhouse Sunshine Coast Club.
Yeah, great club, great part of the world. I tried to play a bit of golf up there. Played Caloundra a couple of months ago, and Coolum last year. Love getting up there. Got a really close affiliation with Pelican Waters Bowling Club. Darryl Rawlings and Tony Carter and the gang. Great little club on the Sunshine Coast, Pelican Waters. And it's a nice drive with the new roads now. Of course, pretty large airport too if you want to fly in and out.
Yes, very convenient. Not too far from Brisbane Airport either.
So Brenda just a little bit heavy there. This is where the concentration needs to be at its absolute premium. Need to be right on top of your routine. Concentration needs to be completely in the game, hydrated, fueled. These are the business ends now. You can break away here. And for Queensland, well, they want to break right into the match. And ACT, they want to break away. And you want to be able to have all those 1%ers, tick all those little boxes. Just having some snacks in the bag, keeping the water up. Keep moving about, keep stretching. Stay on top of your game. Any little bit of lapse in concentration can be vital. It's not getting any cooler. Now creeping up to 27, Aidan. So perfect conditions out there in terms of temperature. Just a little bit of a swirl. I can't really nail down that breeze, but It's a lovely day. We're keeping the fluids up here, of course. We've got a couple of pints in front of us, of water, of course.
Of H2O. Keep us refreshed.
So definitely a common theme there. I know I've mentioned it a couple of times, but every bowl, it's crossed the line. So for the right-handers, they're pushing it out on their backhand to try and overcome that high drawing hand. Brenda Thompson's done pretty well. Well, not quite. I think she's managed to get second out of that. So for me, Aiden, and I'll put it to you. I know I know you love your corporate bowls, and you've been around the game for a while, and you have a bit of a run yourself. You do love the game. I'll put it out to you, Aiden. Do you think maybe just with seeing so many bowls crossing the head there, trying to fight that wide oceanside hand, we might see a bit of a change up? Maybe some players getting on that other hand?
Yeah, it's a very good point that you make. Just not finding it on the eastern side across the beach side. Just a lot of finish.
And that just could be the difference too. If Noelene, Brenda and Brenda get together just for a little chat at some stage and just say, hey, 11-5 down, we probably don't want to get to the end of this game and go, maybe we should have swapped hands or tried something new. I always like to try and break the game down into quarters, and in this case 18 ends, 6 end, have a little chat. Would have been probably a good time then when they won the mat back, but you can see Noelene there, she's using quite narrow bowls, just ripping away there, and it's more the fact that they won't be effective, those bowls, whereas by playing the narrow hands, got probably more of a likelihood to come down and pick up the jack. So
yeah, absolutely, it's a percentage play here. I feel you're just not finding it as well as Mandy's Queen Bien team.
Yeah, Mandy's sent that out on a nice line, only lacking 4 feet of weight, but beautiful lane, great angle to the jack there. So 6 ends played. We're heading in the southerly direction here. Forehand for Noelene Dutton. She's looking at the ground.
She saw it, but yeah, she didn't love it out of the hand.
You can see the line that bowl's taking versus the other side. It's nearly backdoored the shot. I think that's where probably both teams, but I think that's where Queensland's got to go, Aiden. I think they've got to jump on that narrow hand and really cut down the ineffective deliveries. And Mandy, Stitt, trying to dodge a couple of wingers. Well, I think she was good if she missed that. I think we'll find it's one shot to ACT. And they've got that one back. And it takes them to 12. 5 after 7 ends here at Broadbeach Bowls Club. Day 1, session 2. Australian triples, men's and women's triples games going on. So 12 plays 5. Jack on the tee again. Seeing a deep jack quite often in this direction. And Sandra Warren is playing that backhand. She played a great opening bowl with her backhand. Previous end in this direction. And that's no exception. Really much higher effective rate on that narrow hand. And here we go. We're seeing it now. Maybe I'm talking too loud. Brenda Balchin, backhand. Just out to that chalk line. Needs to get down for some contact, but not holding up. That's it for me now. I think for Brenda, especially as Sandra Warren's effective rate's quite high. I think that's it for Brenda. Balchin, stay on that hand for the rest of the match now. Just persist. Last thing you want when it's a little bit swirly, swapping and changing. You got different lines, different weights. Just try and settle into a rhythm here. Even stay there now. It's good for Brenda. Correct the weight, same line. Yeah, it looks to be on a good track. Persistence is the key. It's a lovely shot. Well and truly in the game. Definitely gives her second, Brenda Thompson, something to play to. So BPL 20, Aiden. Plenty of prestige, plenty of prize money. Plenty of big names. Do you feel you'll get a little bit more viewership having the likes of Paul Foster and Jamie Smith and the like?
Yeah, Catherine Rednall. Certainly the international flavour of this BPL adds another element to an already fantastic competition. New teams, new players, internationals, more matches, 22 rounds, still 24 hours of live broadcast across Tuesday through to Friday, Fox Sports, KO Sports, YouTube. So really looking forward to the BPL lifting another notch next month.
Yeah, excellent. And the time frames won't be too bad, really, when you think about it, of an evening. The Fox Sports games, the big TV games, they're working quite well for the overseas time slot.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the UK, yeah.
And they'll have a lot to watch with Catherine and Paul Foster and obviously Alex Marshall. It's been a regular of the competition for a very long time now, since number 2 was Australian Premier League back then, APL 02.
And Brenda Thompson, one down. She just needs to add a bit more grass. She's done that, maybe overdone it. Needs to stay off that bowl. Well, the angles aren't great. 50-50 for mine. Maybe still just the one down. So 18 ends, 7 played. Big day for everyone. 3 sectional rounds. And if you happen to finish on top, well, you're playing for gold. And if you come runner-up, well, moving into the post-sectionals, we're quite lucky to play a bit of everything, Aiden. Play a bit of knockout stuff, bit of sectional stuff, but you always love that David and Goliath matchup, sometimes in the sectional, and Goliath gets the win, but then David comes back post-sectional. So I like that.
Yeah.
You know, you're not down and out. I remember when Josh Thornton and I won the Australian Open Pairs, we lost our first round in our sectional.
Right, okay.
Snuck through, lucky loser, and then the rest is history.
Absolutely. Champions.
And talking about Australian Open Pairs, that was my little segue. I know a guy that's done all right in Australian Opens in the past. As I thank you, Aiden, for your time, mate. And welcome the one and only Dylan Fisher.
On your Baz.
Snapper, the man they call Snapper.
Thanks for having me on, mate.
No worries. Up here competing in the Alley Shield for Victoria, skipping all week. How was that, mate?
Yeah, enjoyed the week at Tweed. Obviously not the way we would have liked it to finishing third, but all in all, yeah, we gave it a good crack, and there was a few games there that could have gone either way, and unfortunately it didn't go our way, but yeah, I was quite happy with how the boys went and the ladies as well. So yeah, all in all, enjoyed the week, mate.
From a representative point of view, I know you've played bowls for quite a long time now, but does it get much better than that, in terms of getting together with a group of people? Yeah, I know there's an individual element to the game of bowls, but does it get any better than the Alley Shield in terms of playing with a group of people that are all, on the same page, got the same ambitions?
No, I think it's the best event in Australia, that's for sure. I've always enjoyed it. It's an honour to represent your state, and for me it's Victoria, and I love donning the big V, and yeah, it's something you look forward to every year, and it's one of those events that it tests you mentally but also physically as well, like getting through effectively 7 games of pennant in 4 days, and having to back it up each day, playing your best but also trying to contribute my role in the team as a skip, trying to tactically work through the game as well. It leaves me pretty exhausted by the end of it, but I do love it deep down, and that's why I do it.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, it's a great event, all right. And New South Wales men's team picking up the Alley Shield, and Queensland picking up the Marge Morris Trophy. And some great performances all round. Some interesting results. Some teams, some upset wins, you could say. But, I mean, it's hard to say that word upset because every team in their own right are strong teams. But you can't take any game lightly, can you?
No, not at all. I think one thing I probably noticed this year that there wasn't a lot between most of the teams, and it definitely could have gone either way. I think that gap between the best and what you'd call sort of the lesser is starting to close a little bit, and yeah, you can't go into any game, taking it easy or taking it lightly, because that can come back to bite you real quick, and that's what makes it such a great event. You've got to be on every game and representing your state, and it doesn't get much better.
Yeah, so well done to all the competitors. Alley Shield, getting picked for your state, as Dylan Fisher just mentioned, is an honour, and then to go on and play at Australian Championships, playing with and against some of the best players the country has to offer, it definitely is, for me, of the international standard by far. It is as good as it gets, and a tremendous event, and the Australian Championships. And the reason you're here, Dylan, is because you picked up the state fours, mate. You won with 3 good mates, and let's go back to when you won that state fours back in April.
Yeah, April at Bendigo East. Yep.
What did it mean to get the win, and how do you rate yourselves coming into this week?
Yeah, it was sort of one of those spur of the moment teams that came together. Myself, Matty O'Brien, both playing at Moonee Valley, but then a good mate of mine, Johnny McCarran, who I've known for a long time. He's at Glenroy, and he suggested we get Cooper Wescombe to lead up for us, and we also just came together and played a few games at region level, and we winning the first few. I thought, this is sort of gelling pretty well, and off we went, and off to Bendigo, and we just had a great couple of days, all get along really well, and we played well, and lucky enough to come away with the win, so here we are.
And how much does that play its role in terms of being good mates and knowing each other, knowing you can have a bit of a laugh, joke around when need be, but also be serious when the time comes? Yeah,
I think we've got that mix pretty right. I've played a lot of bowls with Johnny over the years, and he's playing third, and I think we both work together really well, know each other's games, and it's pretty relaxed, sort of stress-free. We're trying our absolute guts out, but we're not putting any unnecessary pressure on ourselves to play really good. We know we're all having a crack, and we have a laugh, win, lose or draw, but we are all competitors at the end of the day, so we are here to win. But there's that other element of we're just good mates as well, so that's what it's all about.
Yeah, well said. You've won some national titles over the years. I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves me right, you've won the Australian champion singles.
Yeah.
Beating Matty Bouse at Queanbeyan.
Yeah, actually, Matty Bouse just lost the game prior, so
Right.
I didn't come across, because that was back in the days where,
Play each other once, was it?
it was sectional back
Right.
then. So I'm not sure what year the Champion of Champions changed to how it is now. But I think, in my opinion, it's probably a better format now, playing everyone once. I think you get quite a good event that way.
Yeah.
But I think I was 9 or 10 years ago, so I'm showing my age a little bit, even though I'm not that old. But yeah, so it was different back then. But yeah.
Yeah, well, what do you think of this, mate? Broadbeach Bowls Club, the renovations, the setup here. You got one of the best greens in the world here, you see, with the TV events for the Australian Open. Doesn't get much better than this, mate.
Yeah, always love coming back to Broadbeach. Probably don't get here as much as I'd like to anymore, but it's great to be here. Greens are always amazing and always held good events. It's definitely the best in the business, Broadbeach. This is the first time I've seen the renovations, and yeah, wow, it's pretty spectacular. It's hard not to have a good time here, whether you're playing or just spectating, and yeah, it's just such a great venue.
Yeah, definitely been some changes over the years as we see this game at the moment. Now, we'll just give you an update, Snapper, with the proceedings. Now, ACT, they're leading now 13-5. But they actually did lose to NT this morning, so that just keeps things quite lively when it comes to the sections. And then you've got Queensland came out and had a huge win against Tassie this morning, 24-9, and now find themselves 13-5. So as you said, it really does show that this event is for everyone.
Yeah, I've actually kept an eye on it the last few ends just before I jumped in, Baz, and looks like the ACT ladies are playing really well, and big crucial part of the game here, nearly halfway, and they've got a nice lead, and every end that I've watched, they've seemed to have bowls in there, and it's a credit to them. They're playing well, and I think once you find your rhythm on this sort of green, you can just sort of draw shots in there consistently, and that's what they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, well, Mandy Stitt, she's played this backhand a few times with weight. She's just going to miss high on this occasion, but got a decent little head to play to. As you can see, that's great weight control, but now has 3 catches back there. And this green now, Snapper's running about 16 and a half. What's your favourite ideal speed, mate?
Yeah, I think this sort of pace is not too far off it. Anywhere in between that 14 to 16, I think is the most ideal for good bowls, where you can play all the shots with confidence. And on this surface, Tiff Dwarf surface, it is quite kind to draw shots, but also, play that yard on or any sort of weight that you like. Obviously, this is without talking about the elements. When the wind comes into play, that can bring its challenges, and you might have to adjust your playing style a little bit from there, but all in all, there's not much to complain about, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, it certainly is a beautiful day for it. Day one here at Broadbeach Bowls Club. After bringing you all the action the last few days from Tweed Heads, or Club Tweed, Broadbeach Bowls Club.
Two pretty handy venues to have within 20 minutes of each other on the Gold Coast. Yeah, really enjoyed it down at Tweed. I thought they ran a great event, and yeah, it was always going to be a great time coming up here straight after it as well. So it all just leads into each other perfectly, I think. And yeah, Bowls Australia have done really well there.
Yeah, definitely is, mate. Knowing that you can take a pack of days off together instead of sort of weeks here and there. Definitely a great format. But can Noelene Dutton trail this jack? Well, she doesn't need to. She's just drawn another one. Well, forehand round the front, straight away, telling her lead, I want the mat on the tee.
2 shots, was it, Baz?
Yeah, 2 shots.
Well, that gets them back into it. Only, what are we, halfway?
Yep. So that takes them to 7. 13-7, not much in it. I love that body language from Noelene. Just as that ball was creeping into the head, telling her lead, I want the mat on the tee. And demanding a long end here. So let's see if Brenda Balchin can produce the goods with the jack length. It's not bad. Well, they've gone maximum here. Will it stay on? Close. Well, she's lost the jack, and Nolene's not happy. Bit of a slap of the leg there from Noelene. She knows momentum's everything in sport, and she wants that jack length. Is that something you focus a lot on too, Dill, especially as a skipper for Victoria?
Yeah. There was that actually just reminded me of a few times that Tyson, my lead, he credit to him, he led beautifully all week. But I have to have a bit of a chuckle to myself in this sort of situation when you're trying to come back into a game and you call a change of length, and it's always the way when that jack just gets away from you. And look, it's nobody's fault, just the way it is. But look, sometimes it can work for you if you change the length, and sometimes it doesn't. But I'm a big believer in when you are losing in a game that you've got to try something different and have a crack at it, and not just accept that what you're doing is not working. You've got to try something different and see what happens. But
yeah, great advice. Yeah, I know. Watching you last week, Snap. Definitely, having your little rink meetings there, as we see Brenda Balchin. Well, that's a great start. I was egging her on to switch to that backhand and play the narrow side, and managed to not only win the last end, but opening up with a toucher. But I noticed, definitely a lot of rink meetings, constant chats with your team. Even it might be just about what you're doing tonight for dinner, or I've just got to stay connected on the rink, don't you? Yeah,
I don't really say too much, to be honest, Baz. It's nothing too inspirational. I'm pretty big on keeping everyone in the rink involved. Just because someone's playing lead or second, in my mind, that doesn't mean that they just put their bowls down and don't do anything else. So I like to just check in and have a bit of a breather, I suppose. It gets pretty intense out there in state bowls, and sometimes you just need a minute just to take a few deep breaths and start again. And we're not talking anything too flash or fancy, but it's good just to get everyone's input on how they think the game's going, and someone might have a great idea on what we should do next, and I'm a big believer in that.
Yeah, likewise, mate. I've always said, when you don't have a bowl in your hand, how are you influencing performance when you aren't delivering a bowl? So stay involved. You've got eyes, you've got ears, you've got voice, you've got personality. Add that to the game as much as you can, and stay involved. So we're joined by Dylan Fisher, former Australian Jackaroo, and someone that's won many titles of the highest level, and national titles. So we're quite lucky to have Dylan with us. Thanks for your time, Dill.
Thanks for having me, Baz. It's good to be here supporting a few friends, and thanks for having me in here.
Just good to have you on the Gold Coast, mate. We missed you at the Australian Open.
Yeah, it's been a few years since I've played the Australian Open, just with work commitments and life looking a little bit different for me now. But the Australian Open's a great event. I do tune into the finals, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think this rink is just about where the Australian Open rink would be.
Pretty much. If it isn't this one, it's probably maybe one rink over. Yeah. I'm pretty sure 24 rings a bell.
Okay. Yep. But this is definitely this green, and this part of the green runs extremely true, and it's very conducive to good bowls.
Yeah, when you say supporting other players, not just from your own state, just some mates as well. That you've made through, being a marquee for Capalaba, and how was that for you, mate? Coming up here, play a bit of Queensland Premier League.
Yeah, this season just gone was my first time ever playing in Queensland Premier League, and I loved it. I've become really good friends with Kay Nelson the last couple of years, with him coming down to play at Moonee Valley with us, and him obviously being heavily involved at Capalaba. He got me to come up this year and play Queensland Premier League, and I loved it. So luckily enough for me, they're going to get me back for next season. So looking forward to it. And he's playing on the other green at the moment as we speak, actually, in his second game of the triples. So
okay,
yeah,
big week for Kane. He's in 3 events, I think.
Kane's he is in 3 events, and it's worked out quite well scheduling wise. So he plays today, has a break tomorrow. He's got the 4s on Wednesday, has another break Thursday, and then he's got the mixed pairs on Friday. So
yeah, nice.
It gives him a good opportunity to attack the week pretty well without being burnt out or fatigued too much off the back of Finale Shield all week at Tweed Head. So, but if anyone knows Kane, he knows he can bowl all day, every day. He's young and fit, and he can just keep doing it.
So a couple of ends back, I was just suggesting that maybe the Queensland team get on the right-hand side of this screen here, or the western hand, and just try and change the pattern of the game up, just change the momentum of the opposition, get out to a bit of a lead, and it has worked. Brenda Thompson there, you can see she's got the closest bowl, but this would be almost, well, it probably is ACT's worst end, and they've had a couple of bowls up the front to negotiate. So it's just crazy how just a little switch, and you said it too, Dylan, not always it works bad for you if you lose your jack. They've lost the jack, but now holding the front end battle. So
she's going to clear the front here and count.
A little slide. Well, that'll do enough.
This is big here. Like the next few bowls here, if Queensland are able to draw another and land a 3, they're right back in it. And then the other way, if she's able to convert here or get second shot, then it just keeps that bit of a buffer. So we've got a big couple of bowls coming up here.
And we're just under time. So we're 1 hour 13 in. Oh, sorry, 1 hour 17 in. And we're halfway on the ends. Remembering, ideally you want to play every end because shots count.
How's her weight here, Baz? Because it's got a great line.
Needs the jack. Just sailing through. Mandy Stitt, well, she's been rock solid all game. That's one of her loosest bowls so far, but a little bit of front end pressure here. You always think of Ryan Bester's favourite saying, front end will win your games, back end will decide by how many. You can't beat that front end pressure. Noelene, well, she's getting on the mat knowing she's holding. Doesn't want to relax too much on this one. I think she has. Well, missed opportunity from Noelene Dutton.
These are often the heads where you've got a bit of room to draw the shot, but it's sometimes never that easy. And it's shown this end with a couple of loose bowls, but these are the big ones here. You're able to draw the shot and you really kickstart the momentum again.
So Mandy Stitt, backhand. Quite a long land here. She needs to take some weight off.
A bit wider than her first, but see about her weight.
Can she get some activity off the wide bowl? No. So sailing past. It's at least 2. We've seen the measure come out a few times this match. There it is again. So Brenda Thompson. That's Brenda Balchin's bowl. Now, well, ACT.
Just the 2.
Yep. Well and truly. So 2 it is to Queensland. Back-to-back ends.
Be interesting to see how the jack roll goes this time. If the plan's the same, looks like it is ditch to ditch.
Yeah, Nolene's been all over that.
And these are the ones where when you're leading, you're very afraid to roll the jack back in the ditch, so you often go the opposite way. And that looks like that's what's happened.
Yeah, just pulling up a bit short. Bit of a thumbs up there from Noelene. It's amazing how just some of those little gestures, snapper. Just those little hand gestures. As I said before, trying to influence performance without a bowl in your hands is a really big part of, especially team sport, and just a pat on the back or a thumb up or something can go a long way, can't it?
Yeah. I probably urge on the side of maybe too positive at times, but my theory is, say if my lead was to roll a jack in the ditch, I know that they weren't trying to do that, so what's the point of getting into them about it? Doesn't really make them feel any better about themselves, and I back them in to correct any errors. They know what they're doing. I'll back them in with their own ability. So I don't feel any need to, make any unnecessary harsh comments or be that negative skip. That's not personally how I do it. Each to their own. But
Yeah, it's can be a flow-on effect. Just trying to stay as positive as you can.
Yeah, I feel a big role as a skip, Baz, is trying to work out a way to get the best out of your team. And
it's a skill in itself, isn't it?
Yeah. And definitely there might be players out there who would like hearing a bit of a spray or, a bit of criticism, and it might fire them up to play better. But I think as a general rule, probably the other way is probably the way to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, the best skips, the best bowlers, they know what works for their team and how to get the best out of them. And as a skip, if your front three are playing well, then it makes life a bit easier for you.
Yeah, this one here, I feel that one got a bit of a gust. I will stick up for Sandra Warren there. The flag's got up a bit there with that one. It's definitely not something we'd see from Sandra. She's been solid this match. But that extra length, it's probably the longest jack in this direction this match so far, and it's testing out everyone. And you've got that high drawing line. You want to be pretty much out to that boundary paint, and you'll see this sharp turn now. Diving under here. Little touch of the jack. Oh. See that angle that bowl's finished on there, snapper.
Yeah, the green's starting to free up pretty well. Like, you know, she wasn't carrying too much weight there. She sliced the jack and it's run right away.
Yeah, you got to trust it. Send it out. Let the bowl do the work.
I think the greens are probably just starting to dry out that little bit from, a week or so ago when you had a lot of rain up here.
Yep.
When the junior championships were on. I found that the Tweed Heads greens stayed, you know, that sort of nice 13, 14 seconds for a few days, but the last couple of days it feels like the moisture's worn off and the greens are starting to free up again.
Yeah, if you get that mix of, you know, high temps like today, 27, 28, you know, it's not scorching, but it's hot. Yeah. And then you throw in some wind, they dry out pretty quickly. Yeah. Doesn't take much at all. And what about Victorian Premier League, mate? Kicks off this weekend?
Yeah, so they deliberately moved the schedule, obviously, to avoid a bit of a stuff around with what's going on up here. So next week, this weekend, so we play Deer Park Friday night as a bit of a grand final rematch. So looking forward to that. And then all the other games will be on Saturday. So, yeah, looking forward to it, Baz. It's come around really quick.
Absolutely.
Seems like only yesterday we were playing against Deer Park in the granny, and unfortunately going down, but it's good to get another crack at it, and we're pretty keen, and I think the competition's in a really good place at the moment with the calibre of players that are playing in it and flying in from other states, etc. So it should be a good season, Baz.
And good luck, mate. No, I watch it pretty closely, especially with the live streaming and all that, and as I said off the top of this game, with the amount of technology around now, all you really need is a tripod, a set of headphones, a battery pack and a phone, really, and some good Wi-Fi. So then you've got some, level 1 live streaming if you want to just do some club games or whatever. So get cracking, and you'll build your confidence up there and your equipment from there. But out at Clubland, more of it the better. And I just caught a glimpse of bowls in Dubai recently. They've got this bowls club happening over there in Dubai. They're just borrowing a bit of carpet from an indoor tennis club or something and going for it. And good to see. You don't always need a bowling green as well. You can share a facility from someone else. It's great for the sport. I think that technology is really helping other countries grow, knowing that they can use other surfaces as well.
Definitely, Baz. I've noticed the last couple of years, especially the quality of the streams has just gone to another level. I think Bowls Victoria, Bowls Queensland, Bowls New South Wales, and then all the other states as well is really, they've invested in the game and the quality of the streams, and it's so good to watch now. But then I suppose also that brings a bit of a challenge that we do also want people getting down to the game and watching and supporting clubs as well. So it's finding that balance between the two. But obviously if you're not able to get to a game, the quality of the streams now is absolutely sensational.
Well said. Oh, Mandy, Stitt. Well, that's a great track. It's not there though. It's hard to judge from where we're sitting without looking at the monitor snapper, but from here, the grey jack high bowl way out there at 9 o'clock on the monitor. Now, looking at the monitor, it probably doesn't look like shot, but from here where we're sitting, it could be. It's a tough one to pick.
It looks quite close between about 3 of those bowls there, so it'll be interesting to see. Once again, another important moment for either skipper to draw the shot here and kick the game either way.
Well, if Noelene can draw this or potentially add another and hold on, we'll be 3 ends in a row. Momentum's everything. It's spinning into play here.
This looks the shot to me, Baz. She's played this well.
Yeah, that's the boss. Noelene Dutton. Really getting her groove on now.
It's well played.
We might get an indication here from Penny Auld with her skipper asking what the count is. So we'll go off Penny here. What have you got for us, Penny? Not quite picking up that. I think she sort of said you have to beat those bowls. So maybe looking to draw second shot here, Mandy Stitt.
Yeah, I think she has to, given that there is a fair bit of room and it's potentially 3 down depending on what that jack high bowl is, but we're not sure. So I think it's a draw shot either way.
Well, that's not one of Mandy's best ends. That long jack threw most people off into the breeze in the southern direction.
Anyone from ACT watching might be cursing me because I did say when I just jumped on this stream that they were playing very well, and unfortunately they've had a couple of loose ends. But
yeah, 3 ends in a row.
Hopefully no commentators curse, but I'm sure they'll bounce back, and because from what I had seen earlier, they were bowling very well, and that happens in bowls. It's a momentum game and there's spurts.
Well, that's 2. Will it be a third?
Yep.
Easily. What about the blue one? Four it is. Huge pickup. That's 8 shots in 3 ends for Queensland. The Helensvale Club Kawana combined team. Brenda, Balchin, Brenda, Thompson, Noelene, Dutton. They've levelled it up here at Broadbeach Bowls Club. Day 1 of the Australian Women's Triples. And just when you think that ACT was going to hold on to that lead, in steps Dylan Fisher to the commentary box. And it's all square.
We start again. 7 to go. Reset. Leave it behind you.
And we've got some results from around the greens. Well, around the 2 greens. Well, around this green 4 here. Men ACT, New South Wales, 11 ends in. New South Wales leading 13-5. And the women's second round match between NT and Tassie, well, they've bounced back really well after losing this morning to Queensland 24-9. They're up 16-4 after 12. And they've already played the 12 ends, so just the 6 ends remaining there. And the Victorian men, 16-3 after 10 ends. They're high scoring.
I think that's ACT versus New South Wales men's match. They were both first game winners, so this result here is quite big in terms of the standings of the section.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what we want. We don't want anyone running away with it just yet, do we?
No.
That's not what it's meant to be like.
It's nice when it comes down to the last game of the section where every team's in play. It does get more exciting, that's for sure.
It's fairly good grouping from both players so far. All 3 deliveries inside a yard.
It's funny how that sort of happens, that when everyone has one person has a loose end, it seems to follow, and then now they've bounced back and looks like we've got a good end on our cards here. Yeah,
so true. And you see that too when players come up against the big names. They seem to lift. They start chasing more bowls and start high-fiving and showing more voice. And I've always said, if you can, be consistent in how you approach things. Go about it the same way. But it's like a milestone game sometimes. You just go up against some of the big name players.
She's after it here, Baz, and she's just missed it. Probably overplayed the weight a little bit, but...
Speaking of milestones, Sean Baker, 200 games, clocked up his 200th game for Queensland yesterday, so shout out to Sean Baker, and who also represented Northern Territory over 100 games. So
was that 200 just for Queensland?
Just for Queensland,
yeah.
Yep. So
that's a great effort. It's a lot of years. It's not easy to get there.
Yeah, collectively, Yeah, over 300 games. Wayne Rudiger. Well, he became the highest state representative of amount of games for South Australia. 406 games to surpass the late great Ray Toome. I once played against Ray Toome many years ago. Great player. You can see why he played so many games for South Australia. But well done to all the players in their milestone games and their achievements throughout not only the Ellie Shield but all the championships, as we see Brenda Thompson missing high again.
Yeah, well said, Baz. Huge effort from Rudy. That's I can't remember how many years he did tell me, but it's an incredible amount of years of dedication to the sport, and he's been a stalwart of that South Australian side for a very long time. Achieved a lot in the game, and he's a great guy as well.
Yeah, still playing well.
He's a competitor, Baz. He'll stick around for as long as he possibly can.
Yeah. Great shot there. Big clap from Mandy Stitt for Penny Auld on the forehand.
Great bounce back here.
Yeah.
After a couple of loose ends, and we've drawn a couple of really nice shots in there. It's left Noelene pretty much choose her own weight on that hand. She can play anywhere from 2 feet to 200 feet, as we like to say.
Yeah. I think these conditions are a little bit more inviting for bigger weight. I think she needs to play it fairly decent, because outside of the grey bowl there of Penny Auld, it stays around. Whereas if she's probably got a little bit more on this, inside or outside, it should buckle and probably roll out a bit. And we'll see here. Doesn't mind a bit of a run, Noelene Dutton. So it's on its way. Not a bad first half.
It's drifting to a good line.
Well, she's going to need blue through something now. Well, she's done all right.
Got second out of it.
And back to 2 seconds.
Yeah, left herself a really nice shot for her next too.
Played that pretty well, really. Controlled weight, narrow hand.
Yeah, not too much could really go wrong with that weight. I think from what I've seen, that's the narrower hand where it will hold up a little bit with minimum weight. So I think she played that quite well.
Mandy Stitt needs to get another one in there. Down on one knee as she watches it come back into play here. No, it's going to pull up though. So no change. Good line in the end. About 4 feet short.
Pick your speed sort of operation again here, Baz.
Yeah, most definitely. Snapper.
Whatever you're confident with, and back yourself and go for it.
Yeah, with the dead ends being replayed, once again, I like more than less. If she happens to be tight, she doesn't want to back cut the jack 6 or 8 feet. If she gets any jack movement, you probably want it to kill.
She's in the area here, Baz.
Doesn't want back cut at this weight. Doesn't want back cut. Whoa.
Jeez, you said that.
Probably the only weight not to play, I felt. Anyway, she's out there, not me. Mandy Stitt lives here. They hold one. Tough shot to draw 2. Wow. Bit of a dance behind that one, Mandy.
Tell you what, if it gets under the front,
she likes it.
It's just going to crash, I think.
Oh, well, there you go. It's all done with mirrors, as they say.
I reckon she was fairly well in the area if she missed the front, but yeah, she got a pretty ultimate little feather there, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Nice little consolidation there for the ACT ladies after losing a few on the bounce.
Yeah, 4 ends in a row. They lost the 8 shots over the 3 ends, did ACT. Bounce back with a multiple.
You'd look at the score and you think the game's nearly over, but it's still 6 ends left and it's very high scoring, but that can happen in bowls sometimes.
Yeah, just the 4 singles this match. There's been quite a few multiples.
Back to the short end. Has that been the pattern for them when they were winning ends early on, Baz?
Yes, when they got on that little run there, ACT, they won ends 3, 4 and 5, picking up 5, 1 and 3, so 9 shots across the 3 ends. They were around that 25 metre mark. Hence the reason I feel Noelene Dutton wanted to stretch the ends out, and it worked, having them pick up that nice run of 8 shots across the 3 ends. So, very strategic game. And as we spoke about it earlier, Dylan Fisher, current state skipper for Victoria, and he's going to be skipping his team into battle in the Australian Men's Fours Championships. And talking about those little team meetings, maybe just chatting about length or players changing hands, just staying engaged with one another, keeping up the talk. And you never know, someone might witness something that you haven't, and they might be your lead. So everyone's just as important and engaged as each other, and that's what it's all about. It's a team event after all.
Absolutely, Baz. Couldn't have said it any better myself. Definitely agree with you, and the fact that you're standing up a different end to what your other 3 teammates are, and they might notice something about the opposition that you think that you might be able to exploit, or just in general. It might be something completely random, but keep everyone involved, keep them in the game, and I think it makes them play better and makes you better as a team.
Great leading there. Brenda Balchin, 26 metre length. She's put 2 inside, 18 inches there. Great front end pressure, and she's done it on the forehand.
It's almost the ideal setup, both past the jack, no real target, forcing ACT to draw it off.
Well, that's huge.
Just as I said that.
That's massive.
She got it perfect.
What a shot there from Penny Auld. 2 down to 2 up.
That has changed the head dramatically. Now it's back to Queensland to try and get another one. Draw a shot, and
yeah, you want to get it back straight away.
Yeah.
Shut it down. Brenda Thompson needs a clear run now. Is it going to pull up? Is it going to pull up? It's running through. Well, that's not going to be enough.
Yeah, that grey bowl will still be shot there, I reckon. Fair bit of room, but as we've seen, it can be not easy at times.
Good line there from Brenda. She takes a yard off. She'll be right on it. Yeah, if ACT go on to win this, that's a pretty big moment in the game. Just goes to show, and you said it too, Snap, before about players being involved, even if you're at the front end or whatever. One of the most telling bowls for this match might come down to what Penny just did then. You know, Queensland's starting to build a really nice head, and Penny took it away from them and promotes the red bowl up for another.
Yeah, well, she's done well with their 2 bowls there. Extremely effective in changing the head.
4-shot turnaround in 2 deliveries.
Sometimes it's not about how many you play, Baz, it's when. Every bowl can be a moment.
Yeah, you got to think about it sometimes, like that kick after the siren. You haven't had a good day in front of the sticks. You kick the winner.
And you're the hero again.
You persist.
There's a weight here. Is it going to come back enough?
It's better. It's trying. Snapper. Well, it might nearly fall for second.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's still 2.
Yep.
There is a bit of room for Noelene still, and she's been playing well. But, yeah, this is another crucial one here.
I think Mandy... yeah, she is. Big clap. Get around her. Good on you, Penny. Penny Auld, I'd get around her too. Mandy Stitt walking over, giving her a big pat on the back and a clap. That's 2 rippers from Penny Auld.
Yeah, because that was a pretty ordinary head for the ACT, and they've been able to get out of it here.
Staying involved, Penny Auld, standing the head, foot out there, jack high, just letting her skip know where she needs to be.
She draws another here and makes it 3. It's going to put the pressure right back on Noelene. And I reckon she's played it pretty well.
She's very good here. Just needs to drop in.
That's going to count.
Here it comes. Well, that's a great shot. Leave a little gap there. Well, look at that turning sideways. The full face of that bowl pointing back at where she came from. It just tells you the angle of this green, ocean side.
These are the tricky ones. Like, you've got, a fair bit of room for second, but it's not often easy. There's nothing really much else to play or come off.
Oh, Noelene Dutton, is she there? What a track. Is she there?
That's a great shot.
3 down to 1 down.
That's a really good shot.
Yeah, big skipper's bowl there from Noelene Dutton. 2 down on the card. 3 down on the head. Now only 1 down.
She's given herself that opportunity with her second that she can now be that, positive draw to draw the shot or through the shot bowl. No real danger there at all for her.
Yeah, a bit of a 2-bowl play maybe from Noelene.
Not a million miles away again. She might just drop short, I think.
Might get in the way, though, of the shot bowl. Or does Noelene get the big stick out here, rip that shot bowl out for shot, get back within 1?
To me, it looks like if she goes firm enough that it would be highly unlikely to chip her own out.
Yeah, you can see the experience of Brenda Thompson there, meeting her at the top of the head. The whole rink, I love that. As you said it once again with the team, Brenda there. Brenda Balchin is the lead, and look at she's involved. That's great to see. She's adding something, part of her experience also.
They're looking at the forehand trial, which is there, but I just think it's a pretty tough shot, Baz.
I think the way that hand is holding up with the breeze, I think it's forehand firm. Noelene Dutton's displayed enough weight control today that she can play this on her forehand. At worst, goes 1 down, but with the clock ticking down to 47 minutes, and the end's getting away, this is a big moment in the game.
The only really bad thing I can see happening is if she does go firm, that if she's a little bit off target and happens to, chip off and then come and take her own bowl out, that would be extremely unlucky, but that's probably the only danger with just the 1 bowl in there.
I know a guy that's pretty close to you, Dylan. Goes by the name of Todd Simmons. He would have had that bowl ripped out about 3 minutes ago by now.
Yeah, he would have gone flat stick on forehand drive and tried to take that bowl out and taken any danger away of chipping his own out. He backs himself in that regard, and yeah, he's done a pretty good job of it over the years.
Yeah, big shout out to Toddy Simmons, Dylan's father-in-law, former state player and former Australian Jackaroo, one of the best drivers I've ever seen. And he would have ripped that straight out, no hesitation.
Not sure about father-in-law, Baz, but I knew what you were trying to say.
I know what you're saying. Yep.
Stepfather.
Stepfather. Yes, sorry.
I claim the marriage because without me playing bowls, he wouldn't have met my mum. So
I was there. What a wedding it was.
Yeah, they kept it a secret from me for about a year. So.
No, just went with the backhand option. I think she was looking to come down under the front there, Snapper, and maybe just sort of play a little hang around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there it is. I tell you what, I'll go back to it. Perry Auld there, staring down the barrel of maybe a multiple for Queensland to get back in the game, and they pick up a really important one. 16-13 looks much better than 15 all.
Absolutely. Credit to the ladies. They've bounced back really well the last couple of ends.
It's been a really good game, really, because the way ACT bounced out of the blocks and then for Queensland to put that string of ends together, it's really been a test of patience and probably a little bit of tenacity from Queensland. They could have really dropped their heads because they did have a couple of really loose ends where you could sort of just drop your head and say, listen, it's not happening. But they stuck at it.
Yeah, definitely. It could have gone either way after those sort of situations, but credit to them, and we've got a good finish on our hands here. Once again, another handy opener.
Yeah, 3 shots in it. 5 ends to go. Yeah, a fair bit of this has come down to, I think, for Queensland, switching to this hand. And Brenda Balchin just definitely looks a little bit more comfortable on this narrower hand. Just getting away a touch. Will that hang on for shot? Not quite. It's a big response here from ACT to go down by 6 shots to NT and come up against Queensland after having that huge win over Tas. It's a big response, so they need this win. 3 up. Pretty decent bowls, both in the game. If you can't be on it, just be behind it, always say.
Definitely in the game, but all the bowls there. Should be looking for a big correction here. Just backed off the mat. The wind might have just gusted up a little bit, which it's sort of doing at the moment. It's not here all the time. It's just coming in little gusts.
And as we see on the screen there, thanks to Robbie Allen, we've got some results here. ACT men up against New South Wales. 15 ends gone, 9-16. Women, 4-21. So Tassie, they've bounced back really hard here. Big lead there, 21-4 after 15. And Victorian men, well, they're going great guns. 19-4 after 14. So right in the latter paid stages of all these matches here of day one, Australian champs.
The women's Tassie team will be keeping a small little eye on this result here, even though you try and worry about what's happening on your rink. But yeah, there's big implications here on this result.
Of course, just click on the link. You'll see all the results. Bowls Australia, Bowls Link. Been a tremendous innovation for the sport of bowls. Slowly gravitating towards no scoring with cards. Played a round of golf a few months ago. Didn't need a card. All touchscreen on the cart. Pretty cool.
Definitely the way it's going, Baz. The Bowls Link's a really good system. It's
brilliant.
It's user friendly. I know even some of our older generations are using Bowls Link and have no issues at all, and navigating it really well, and they know what's going on all the time. And yeah, it's really good system, and the sport's going in the right direction. That's for sure.
Yeah, true. If you're hunting around for results, you know they're going to be up to date. We used to wait days sometimes. We'll wait for the old Herald Sun or the Sunday Age to come out. Wait for bowls results. Now, click of a button.
That's it, mate. Yeah, even my grandma, she's all over it. She's telling me what's going on all the time and keeping me up to date, and she navigates her way through it, no issues.
Okay, Brenda, Thompson.
One of those heads here where there's 4 bowls all a similar distance, and who can draw it and who can get in there first.
Well, I think that last bowl is shot out there at 3 o'clock. It's hard to tell. It's a good reaction from Mandy Stitt when Auld drew that bowl, but I'll tell you what, Brenda Thompson, she's all over this.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Yeah, right in behind and falls. Less vulnerable when they fall. So that's going to be hard to beat. Just going by how these heads have been played.
Using the cloth as the measure over that, and I like that. Did you see that, Baz?
Yeah. I've used the sunny arms a couple of times over my journey.
I've never been a big one on the finger measure. I reckon just back your own eyes in, but the cloth measure, there you go, that's a new one. But whatever works.
Boundary peg. Take a shoe off. Yeah. So, 16-13, ACT. Big moment for Mandy Stitt. She's got stars on her shirt. Can she be the star of this match? On the backhand. About a foot of room for shot. Or we see some form of weight control. Pretty good lane to there. Took a lot of time over this one, Mandy Stitt.
Just tell you what.
Trying hard.
Oh, what a great shot here. What's she done?
Well,
Yeah,
don't worry
right.
about the stars on her shirt. Mandy Stitt, you are the star.
That was a ripping shot, Baz, and she's made it quite tough for Noelene as well.
Where that is finished is A1. Noelene Dutton has to play forehand now around that front bowl of Brenda Balchin. She's having a good crack at this snapper. Noelene Dutton. She's going to scare it. Oh, what an effort.
Great effort. Great weight to
That's crazy weight control.
She gave herself a few chances with that weight through her own one on the blue, or it was the right weight that she could have got down to the middle of that bowl. She just was a smidgen high.
Perfect weight control there. Crazy good. As we see Mandy Stitt again. She's having a laugh at this. I think she's thrown it out a bit too high.
It's trying to come home.
I think jack movement's what Noelene needs now.
She's got third shot, so you never know. She's done pretty well. They're 2 bowls there.
Is that a guide up the front there? Backhand, work up under the front one. Nice little guide there at 230. Backhand.
Yeah, she's got that blue bowl catching there for jack movement.
And yourself, Snapper, we were talking about where people get their line earlier. Are you a bank bowler? Do you find a spot on the green? Do you try and visualise the arc?
Couldn't really tell you, Baz. I sort of just try and point my feet in general direction I think I want it to go and let nature take its course after that, I think.
Well, Noelene Dutton, I think it's forehand draw for her. We know this hand will always get back. She couldn't, could she? Noelene Dutton.
What a bowl. She's done it. That's an awesome shot.
My goodness, that is clutch in a big stage of this match.
Cold. Foot to draw it, wide hand, wind's gusting a little bit, and she's drawn it cold.
Well done, Noelene Dutton, the queen from Kawana. She couldn't, could she? Noelene Dutton spinning into play, and that is the shot.
That's an awesome
That's how you win state titles, and
that is
just maybe that's how you win Australian titles. You've got to play the big ones when they matter. And Brenda Balchin, she needs to run with this. We saw it. A couple of ends back in this direction. Put 2 right on it. Before Penny Auld came down and said, not today, Brenda. But Brenda Balchin, can she double up now? Put a couple around it. On the forehand. Noelene cheering it on. She needs jack here, I feel. It's going to run away. Not a bad effort.
Getting back to the how someone gets their line, Baz. You're a bank man, are you?
Yes, bank man. Don't step on the mat until I've found my spot.
Yeah, because you keep your eyes quite up the whole time. You don't tend to look down too much at all.
No, and I just feel I get a little bit too. If I do drop my eyes, I get a little bit too low at release. So I feel if I keep my head up, I definitely get behind the bowl at release versus maybe releasing it a bit vertical when I'm too low.
Yep.
So I always try and stay a bit high, get it out at what I call sweet 60 degrees release. And that works for me. But I'm just saying with Aidan Davis in the commentary box earlier, make sure you work on it to the point you're super comfortable with it and then just own it.
Absolutely.
It's pretty good going here from
Yep.
Brenda Balchin. Yeah, that's a lovely shot. So now she's got pretty much the perfect head. 1 on 1 behind. So all those games, as we see in the score box, pretty much all over. Only the tightest battle there really is the 9-17 result there between men, ACT men and New South Wales. It's a big commitment, Snapper, playing state events in general. A lot of rounds, a lot of days, a lot of time, big commitment. For yourself personally, is the passion still there to enter all state events, or is it a bit pick and choose these days? The reason I asked that, in Queensland, it's pretty much played over 1 week or 2 weeks, all the events, so you can sort of put a line through your calendar. Or with yourself down in Vic, do you sort of pick and choose? Wait a minute, I don't have time for pairs. I'll play fours or whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you really have to sort out at the start of the season, because there's in Victoria it's all go from October to March. Everything's squeezed into that time because we don't play much during the winter. And for me, it's been the last year or two playing team events with mates, and that's something that I've really enjoyed. I've sort of gone away from entering singles things and that, which I used to enter a lot when I was playing a lot more bowls about 10 years ago. So I'd enter the team events as well, of course. But for me now, it's playing with my good mates in bowls who I've known for a long time, and dedicating my time and effort into those region events and really going hard at them, trying not to overdo it, because as we know in bowls, it can get a bit full on sometimes if you're playing in absolutely everything. So my sort of philosophy now is to pinpoint some events I'm really keen on and go hard at it.
Yeah, it's a big commitment. And then you've got the Vic Open. Well, it goes for 2 weeks as well. So your Vic Open's pretty much identical to our 2-week state series. Obviously just different in terms of the tournament structure, the prize money and all that. Do you think, just sort of asking you a little bit on the spot, you don't have to, do you think that that's something that Bowls Vic could look at maybe down the track? Say, listen, how about we turn our state events into one big or 2-week calendar?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely on the cards. Bowls Victoria have implemented quite a few changes over the last few years. I think they're doing a really awesome job with bowls development there. So I could definitely see it going that way, and I think it would work really well. And I think you would get a lot more of the top players entering all the events, whereas maybe the way it is now, it might be getting a little bit stale and a little bit the same every year, and you might not get the quality of players that you might have if you change something up and did it how other states are doing it, and it's obviously working really well. So I wouldn't rule it out at all, Baz. I'd be all for it.
Yeah, well said. No, I'm a big fan of the Vic Open. Lucky enough to sponsor the Vic Open this year. And it was great to be able to support it, and couldn't physically be there. I received an invite from, as Noelene Dutton, just finishing high with good weight, I received an invite to come down. I really wanted to play it, being a former Gippslander. Couldn't get there. So I just threw up a little sponsorship there, but hopefully can make it. And I love the Champions Week too up in Bendigo. That's been a revolution to the sport, or a revelation to the sport. So lots of good things happening, and of course, as you mentioned before, the live streaming. It's great to tune in Friday nights or Saturdays and watch some of my old teammates and opponents from the Premier League days, and lots of good things happening down there in Bowls Vic. And thanks for giving your insight, mate.
No worries, Baz. Yeah, it's amazing how many comments I've had in the last year or so of people that they've, from other states, and, who I wouldn't consider being normally interested in Victorian Premier League bowls, who have said to me that they tune into the Friday night bowls and how much they love the coverage and all the teams and how up and about they are and the way we go about it. So, yeah, I think it's a really exciting time.
Yeah, you just got to put it on mute when that Josh Thornton bloke sometimes finds the mic.
He goes all right, JT. We don't mind JT, but
player of the series a couple of weeks ago. Hey, just letting everyone know he's still got it when he came up for the Para Nationals.
Yeah, I think he likes just to remind everyone that he's not just a commentator and works in the sport. He can bowl a bit sometimes too.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the man, JT. So, bit of an end off from everyone other than Brenda Balchin's second delivery here.
Is it just the one, do you think, Baz?
Yeah, I like the grey bowl over there at right on 9 o'clock for second.
Yeah.
So Queensland currently holding one with what I've been really impressed with a really nice line from Mandy Stitt with her first one, but needs to find the weight, and 2 good lines just not feeling on that occasion. So I think we'll find it's just a one. Yes, it is. So 1:15, Queensland, ACT 16. So a couple of singles in a row from Queensland. And here we go, a bit of a team chat. I wonder what they're thinking here. Do they try something new? That's Nolene's experience, and you said it's before, Snapper. Sometimes skipper, they don't have to be the star player or the big name player or whatever, but geez, if they're great team motivators, team leaders, and they can really just keep the rink connected. There's so much value in that, and you can see Noelene just saying, you know what, and I think your words before was just have a breather.
Yeah.
So just seeing them have a breather here, how important is that?
Yeah, definitely, because you get to these moments in the games and it's quite easy to become a bit uptight, a bit anxious and almost trying a little bit too hard. So I think you need that circuit breaker at times just to come together, have a chat. It could be about absolutely nothing that important, but take a few deep breaths and just recognise, okay, we've got 3 ends left here. It's going to be a battle of who's going to get the bowls in there first and come away with the win. It's got huge implications here for both teams.
Yeah, love that. And that connectiveness. It's you're separated by, let's say, 40 metres. Yeah, okay, at times a bit less, but you're separated by 40 metres throughout 2.5 hours of bowls. If you can remove that separation as much as possible with regular chats and encouragement, goes a long way. As we see, Brenda Balchin, the last sort of 10 ends here, playing the western side of the rink, and her effective rate has definitely gone up, and that's a really nice starter. Yard behind.
Yeah, I think on this length coming this direction, it's a real good opener.
Can Sandra Warren steal back the shot here? Queanbeyan. The Queanbeyan team of Sandra Warren, Penny Auld and Mandy Stitt finishing this morning's game off, losing by 6 to Northern Territory and trying to get their first win of the day in what's been a great match. Really good way to kick off this championship. We spoke about the conditions, green running freely, beautiful surface, and the palm trees in the background just moving around a touch. Not easy to be all over the jack, but I think sometimes you just got to scramble. That's a mental thing, isn't it, Snap?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those games where I think you can't let a loose bowl worry you too much, and you just got to stick to your strengths and what you spoke about before, backing your own technique and mental strength in. And as I say it, she's drawn a toucher. Unfortunately, it's just gone a bit too far, and she's still one down, but it's a bowl in the head. And yeah, it's just about grinding it out, and you don't have to nail the jack in these conditions, but if you're putting your bowls consistently that, within the yardstick, then good things are going to happen.
And to our viewers, you're probably thinking, what's Snap or Snapper? Dylan Fisher's nickname. Not only took up bowls very young as a whipper snapper, but obviously last name being Fisher.
It's one of those nicknames that just stuck, Baz, all the way back all those years ago.
Yeah, there's a few nicknames some bowlers have created through different circumstances over the years that you have to have a bit of a laugh at. Yours is pretty safe.
Yeah, yep. I enjoy it. It's my bowls nickname and doesn't follow me anywhere outside of bowls. And it's something cool to look back on. It was I think I was about 12 years old when it came about. So
I still call Aaron Wilson Baz.
Yeah.
Aaron Wilson's nickname, before he started making inroads in bowls was always Baz. And I still call him that today. So
I think Penny has just moved that red bowl one roll too far.
Yeah, and it's one shot to Queensland now. So it really is anyone's this match. Obviously by the score, but the way the heads are shaping up. Brenda Thompson, backhand, long length.
It's looking to beat the red one, and they'll be sitting with a nice head.
Ditch to ditch.
That line is good. How's the weight?
Needs to run on. It's not going to make it.
Yeah, it's probably about a foot away from counting.
So we feel that the blue bowl there of Brenda Balchin, the first bowl bowled of the end, is the winner. And that's the one Mandy Stitt's asking Penny Auld to beat. Forehand. Send it out on that high line. Let the bowl do the work. We'll get a look at it in a minute as it comes back. Will it get back down in time? Well, it sure did. Missing under. And that's out of play. It's on the beach. That bowl
think Noelene will be sticking with that backhand trying to beat the red bowl.
Yeah, big moment in this game. Queensland, they'll want this. They want to get all square with a couple to play. 24 minutes left. I think we should be safe.
Yeah, barring a dead end, I think they're just going to make all the ends.
Okay, it's on its way. Noelene Dutton. Backhand.
Oh, I reckon she's in the area here.
She got the gas.
How much is going to run away? Yeah, just.
Good effort. Big effort, really. Any touch of that jack in the right direction was 2.
Yeah, even if she flopped off the blue, she counted, but she just trickled through. Mandy, she's played a couple of big ones. Are we going to see another one?
Yeah, it's one of those stages in the game. You want to produce the goods now. Stay composed. They're crouching over this. They're asking it to get there.
Just needs to turn. Oh, here it comes. Whoa, as I said it.
There it is, and a cheer from the crowd up on the balcony. Now, we can't see them, Dylan, but we can hear them. I've got the headphones on, and I can still hear that cheer. Big shot by Mandy Stitt.
It was a little bit quiet here at Broadbeach this morning, but you're just getting the feeling that a few more are starting to roll in, and why wouldn't they with that new part of the Broadbeach Bowls Club? It's absolutely unbelievable setup.
Noelene Dutton. Her weight looks phenomenal here, just to try and sit or trail. Touch of the jack. Noelene Dutton for 3.
Oh, is it going to stop?
Well,
She's
at least
made
2.
What a shot.
The skipper's really producing the goods here.
This is going up a notch, Baz. This.
Well, there you have it. Couple of big bowls from both skips here. And Mandy Stitt's come for a look.
2-bowl plan, Baz. Draw one pass, then trail it to yourself. I like it. I like it a lot.
So I really feel for me,
She doesn't have a lot on here.
it's got to be some form of reduce here. But she doesn't want to just play fiddly weight and turn that blue bowl once or twice. I think if she's going to play forehand, be aggressive, clean a few out, jack in the ditch, maybe jack under the peg over near the Broadbeach Bulls logo for 2.
I think that's probably the shot, Baz, but she seems to me to be sticking on the backhand by her body language. Maybe trying to roll the bowl once over towards that grey one. Tough shot, but
I just don't think there's a plan B there, do you?
No.
In terms of she's high?
no, I don't think so. I mean, if she has draw weight, she might get under the head and flop back off, but
Well, if she's a bowl tight forehand, she can back edge the shot bowl for jack in the ditch for 1. If she's a bowl or 2 high on the forehand, she can pump the front ones through or cut it back. Whereas backhand, I think there's only one result.
yeah, it's a tough shot, but
Crack an egg here. I think that's all we've got here. Crack an egg on the shot bowl and kick it over to the grey bowl. But being the narrow hand, I just don't think it'll get down with weight.
no.
Noelene Dutton. Couple of big ones there. Take a bow.
Nolene's got a nice little confident draw on her forehand now too, to roll that grey one a couple of times for 4, or the blue one, and disregard, the end is over.
That's okay. Sometimes I wish I had an extra one too, Dill.
I knew I had to make a blunder at some point, and that was it, so there you go.
We've all been there, done that one, mate.
I'll probably hear about that for a little while, so I had to give someone a bit of ammo.
You got the boys in the chat on board, are they?
Yeah.
Nice.
And, we have some pretty good banter, so I'll hear about that one, but that's all right, Baz.
That's all right, mate.
Bring it upon myself sometimes. I've often done that just playing on the green as well, thinking there was another bowl to come and the end's over, so
Could be worse. I was playing singles for Victoria against Queensland the old 5-a-side days and chased my 3rd bowl up. Anthony Keepy plays his last. I put my fingers up 2 to you, Anthony, and started kicking the bowls. I still got a bowl down the other end, don't I? I've never done that again.
No.
Especially the look on a couple of the Victorian selectors' faces definitely made me remind myself of that forever.
actually saw a little incident earlier on the other green. All bowls were played and the skip minimally moved the jack with his last, and his second rolled 2 bowls out without checking with the other second if he was happy with it being 2 or not, and it got a little bit...
Ooh.
Yeah, so that was just one of those interesting ones where I think it was clearly 2, but it just wasn't... It was just a bit of an error, but, those things happen.
Yep. So long end, Matt on the tee. Jack up about 2 metres. So long end here into the breeze.
Nolene's cheering this one in.
It's great weight. Just needs to hang around as we see that run away there.
Geez, didn't really take off at the end there.
Not sure if it's shot. The jury's still out on that one. But you'd like to think at this stage of the match, plays standing up to the moment, there'll be a closer bowl than those two.
I think she's trickling through a little bit again.
Not bad. That's good effort there from Sandra Warren, though. That should be enough for shot, I feel. Brenda Thompson. Yeah, so talking about facilities, though, Dylan, you haven't been back to Club Helensvale for a while, mate. They've gone with a double roof now. So that's a big thing. I'm pretty sure the last time you played at Club Helensvale, they would have had all 3 grass.
Yeah, it's hard to picture how it sort of looks, but seeing photos and hearing about it, it's as you said, another world-class facility, and I've heard the surface itself runs extremely well and extremely kind, so they've nailed that. It's all very well to put these roofs over and build these facilities, but you've got to get the green right as well, and it sounds like they've nailed that, and we're just seeing more and more of these facilities pop up.
Yeah, start the conversation at your club. If you're looking to upgrade, reach out to your local sporting government agencies and start the chat. See what the next 10 years looks like for your sporting facility. You never know, you might be able to go undercover as well. As we see here, Penny Auld trying to trail the jack.
She sits her own.
That would have been huge. And we go around the greens next door as we see some games finishing up. ACT versus New South Wales in the men. New South Wales winning by 11, 20-9 after 18. NT versus Tassie. Well, Tassie bounced back after a defeat this morning to win by 21, 25-4, and the Vic men 21-8 over Tasmania. So some big margins there, which all help, especially if you've lost your first one. Bounce back with a win and some margin. Well, we've got Mandy Stitt there just holding the hand up to slow down. Well, I think she needs it to get here.
Oh, that shot, Baz, I reckon.
There you go. So you can see that bowl just rocking and rolling a little bit at the front there. That's the shot.
And second shot's close, between about 3 or 4 of them. But a few bowls to play here. I'm backing them in to draw them in here.
Yeah, Noelene Dutton. Last 4 or 5 ends. Been right on top of her game. Can she do it again? Backhand. Cloth over the shoulder. Long end into that wide drawing hand. Send it out. Feel the weight.
She's got the line bit right, I reckon.
It's rotating pretty well. Has it got a bit too much on it?
Yeah.
Well, she gets the jack. She's got to go with it. Oh, no. She hung around?
At worst, one down, I think.
Thought she may have... Well, she has got one. Noelene Dutton. I did fear she cut that jack too far then.
It definitely looked like that was nearly going to be a 3-down job, but she's done well.
What do you do here, Snap? Do you follow her down? Just seen the line. And Mandy Stitt has played a lot of bowls on her backhand, which should give her confidence. Would it be a backhand trail?
backhand trailers there, forehand trailers there, whatever you're confident on, and back yourself in and go for it. Backhand it is.
Can play any weight, really. Doesn't want to underdo it, though. There is a plan B result. Sit the bowl of Noelene Duttons.
Is it going to get there, Baz?
It's trying. They're egging it on. Edge and flop.
Another great shot.
And the balcony goes wild again.
She had dead weight to draw that toucher too.
Perfect speed in tricky conditions. Not much room for error here at the moment.
I'm backing in an all-square last end job here, Baz.
All square. Okay, you've heard it from the man, Dylan Fisher.
I've been known to curse, so I should stay out of it.
He's called it. So Noelene Dutton, not many options on at all. One bowl in the head and 4 in the way of ACT. So needs to be super careful here. Sticking to what she knows. Backhand, something similar. Yeah, good body language. Out on a nice high line.
Needs dead weight from there. I just think she's
trying hard. That's a pretty good effort. Great track in the end.
Now, Baz, am I allowed to say anything? Are there any bowls left here? There's one bowl to come. All right. So that same shot's still on.
Backhand, trail the jack, 2 feet for 5.
Yep. Maximum is 5. Even a couple of inches is probably minimum 3, maybe 4. She doesn't have to change too much, really. She had great weight. You never know. This one might hold up that little bit more. And
there's really not much going against her here for Mandy. She's probably thinking, all right, one's good, but still, I just saw her look over at that back bowl there of Brenda Balchin, and I'm thinking she may be a bit fearful of kicking it to her, but I mean, just play the same bowl here. Send it out.
It's definitely a mindset one, isn't it? You know that you currently hold an all-square last end, you know you're in the game, and on the other hand, you know you can make a number, but sometimes you can talk yourself out of that confidence.
I think this is one for the highlight reel. Go for it. Try and trail it for 4 or 5. Can really shut this game down here. Taking her time. Oh, good stroke. Came out great. Good angle too. Mandy Stitt.
Jeez, I tell you what, it's starting to...
Here it comes. Is it going to get down in time? Oh, look at that weight again.
Amazing weight again.
Good head of bowls, really.
All square last end. You wouldn't read about it. Straight into it there, Sandra. There's no doubting what their plan is. They're going to roll their length, back themselves in, and all they've got to do is win one end. One end shootout.
So that was a good little run that Queensland went on there. 3 ends in a row. ACT picking up 1. 17 all. And not much mucking around again there from Sandra. She's done well.
Pretty handy at starter.
Yeah.
There's a lot here.
Look at that. That's clutch.
That's really good. There's no target and it's close enough to make them draw. It's a good starter.
Is it the winner though, Dylan?
I don't think it will be, the way the last few ends have gone, and they've really, really come to play these last few ends, the ladies, and have had a great finish.
It's a hard one to pick, but I think it's going to be very hard to beat, especially on the draw. I think if it doesn't be the winner, it's going to have to be probably removed. Matt up at couple of metres, so it's quite a long end. Sandra Warren, great body language.
I reckon she's quicker this time. This one needs to stop.
Just a bit of intensity here, and obviously a little bit more enthused about the situation from Mandy, just stepping in the way a little. That's very common for the players. She's not thinking about anything other than just cheering her team on here. Just jumping in the way, so sorry about that, but players have been great. Really respecting the cameras. Sometimes you get so enthralled in it you forget they're there.
You do. You definitely do. This is just going to sneak under, I think. Is it going to hang around for a good second, Baz?
That's pretty good. That's on the yard.
It's short of jack, but it's close enough that it might give them some options later.
What it also is an angle, if there is any weight to be played, something to work off or halve or slide. So Penny Auld.
Just be looking to count just past the jack would be ideal.
Beautiful track out there.
Comes back a lot from here. Here it comes.
Yeah, nice shot. I think that's enough for two. Yes, it is.
And the two bowls are far enough apart that it's...
Wow, got forehand. Well, I didn't see that coming. A little bit of traffic on the way in here for Brenda Thompson. She has been playing that backhand well.
Yeah, it's a big switch.
Keeps that backhand open for ACT. So, interesting call here from Noelene Dutton. She's liking it.
Tell you what, she's going to hold enough.
It just runs away. Brenda Thompson. Well, that'll do for second.
Yeah, that's a good shot. That gives... Yeah, that gives options.
Gee, that's a big bowl. A little bit of traffic on the way in. Kept the hand open for ACT to try and shut this down. I think that's what they've got to do. Couple of rolls on the grey. Little touch of the jack. Penny Auld.
She's going to get to a good home here, I reckon, Baz.
Well, that's really good. Do you go now?
It's there, isn't it? Forehand. Swing the jack into the ditch. Just under, you get the red clean.
I like it. Two options forehand. Pretty much only, well, backhand you have to negate the front grey. But forehand, I think it's just jack or bowl.
I think, yeah, if you get the jack right in the guts, you're going to get past that back grey one as well and make it really difficult to draw.
The other element to this snapper, and a man of your calibre as well, do you sort of look at this too as well and go, all right, okay, percentages of forehand, but gee, I do prefer a backhand runner. Like, do you still sort of, does the preferred hand win out?
Yeah, I think for me personally, like, I've always preferred my backhand in regards to runners, but I think usually how I do it is whatever I'm confident with at the time, and I just go do it. So if I'm feeling my forehand swinger, then go for it.
Yep. So going by Nolene's body language there, just seems to be a draw shot here. They've done the hard work, got a second in there. I don't think it really changes much.
Well, she's interested.
Unless she's asking Brenda just to literally dead draw this.
Oh, she's just run through, but two mighty efforts.
Well, can she get another second? Because that does definitely make Nolene's mind up.
It's hard to tell, but geez, I reckon she nearly has. Well, we got what we wanted out of the last end. It's anyone's game here, and both skips have got a chance. Yeah, well, I am literally on the edge of my seat here. Who would you rather be right now, Baz? Holding or good opportunity to win the game?
Oh, I think I'd want to be the one that plays the match winner here. I'd rather be trying to look to sit that red out to win than playing some kind of funky little protective shot.
It looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To the eye, it looks like there's a lot going for you there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I really do think Mandy's biggest drama here is trying to change the head to a point where it makes it hard for Noelene, but that can go sour as well.
Yeah.
They've got a good back bowl in there. you go to shut it down and draw a front hopper and you could trail the jack, but
This is short, and where is it going to finish?
it could have been strategic. They did have a bit of a chat.
Well, I tell you what, this could force the other hand. Oh, no, that with less weight is still there.
Yeah, Noelene, look at the body language. She can't wait to get up there
Yeah.
to the mat. She wants to play this.
That hand is turning nice enough that you'll get well around that even with quite firm weight, and you've got chances galore.
And we always want to try and get them clean. Don't get me wrong, but if Noelene happens to get an edge off that front blue at 11 o'clock, that's in the area.
Right.
Okay. So I'll accept if she does get a little bit of action off the front. But I mean,
You're playing that weight that you know if you miss the blue, you're either getting the jack or the red one.
yep. Yeah, forehand, ditch weight, sit the bowl out clean, or if you hold on, you get the jack. So a couple of options. Having a bit more of a...
And we're getting super technical now, but if she gets the jack, the way her bowl's coming, she's going to ricochet off one of these bowls and then come into the ditch with it.
Yep. Yeah, definitely can get a little kick on the way through. All right, just composing herself. Noelene Dutton, forehand, swinging. We'll soon tell you what kind of weight. So it's solid ditch weight. She's out on a beautiful track.
Just got to start bending.
She needs the jack now. All the action as we spoke about. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Wow. Almost our first dead end. I felt if she flicked that, it could have killed, and that would have been all over. Oh, potentially.
Yeah.
Only 2 minutes to get the... Oh, no. Oh, it's the last end. So, yep, no. So, if they had killed that, they would have got the jack down in time.
She didn't muck around here, Mandy. She knew what she wanted to do.
Well,
She's got more weight on it. She's narrow, though.
I'm just going to give it a little pump up. Open it right up. Well,
It's very similar bowl, isn't it?
yeah. Noelene Dutton, routine, process, see the shot, play the shot, breathe in confidence, and let it go. Very established and accomplished player is Noelene Dutton.
She's tied up.
Yeah, she's very good here, snapper.
She's got the jack.
Has she killed it?
Has it stayed in?
Has it stayed in? I think so. Yes, it has. So Noelene Dutton, jack in the ditch to win the game. It's what... that's what it's all about in the big moments. So it's one shot to Queensland, and we have been absolutely treated today, ladies and gentlemen, from viewers all around the world to a great match between ACT and Queensland for the women's round 2 match here at Broadbeach Bowls Club of the Australian Championships. As we see Brenda Thompson giving Noelene Dutton mid-rink a big cuddle. Well done to the team from Queanbeyan, though, ACT. Dylan, they played very well.
Yeah, they did. Cracking finish. Congrats to both teams. They played an awesome game, and it could have gone either way, and it was fitting that it came down to the last bowl.
And thank you for joining us. We're very lucky to have you here, Dylan, to pop in and give up some of your precious time. Myself personally and the team here and everyone, I'm sure some of the viewers that know you and know you well, wish you all the best with your Victorian teammates here. Enjoy the great Gold Coast hospitality. It's great to see you back at Broadbeach Bowls Club, mate. We've shared some great memories together, not only here but other venues, and it's good to see a man of your calibre sitting in the commentary box, giving back to the game as much as you can, and really wishing you all the best in the remaining part of this championship.
Good on you, Baz. I've enjoyed it, and thanks for having me.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Round 2 is just completed. Queensland winning with the last bowl. Noelene Dutton, jack in the ditch. The Queen from Kawana does it, and we'll be back soon for round 3 here at Broadbeach Bowls Club.